There is a quiet voice rising inside you now, soft, steady, and sacred. You didn't summon it, but it knows you, and it's been waiting for this moment to be heard. Beloved one, you didn't come across this by accident. There's a reason your eyes are still here, your heart's still open, even if your mind is weary. There's a deeper part of you listening. Not just your ears, but your soul. And that's where I'm speaking. I saw the weight you've been carrying, the questions you hide behind polite smiles, the ache you silence when no one's watching. You've been walking through invisible storms, haven't you? Carrying burdens you never signed up for, wondering if the silence from heaven meant you were forgotten. But I am here to tell you, no, whisper to you, you are not forgotten. You were never alone, not for 1 second. My eyes were on you when you thought nobody noticed. My spirit hovered over you in the dark. And though the answers felt delayed, the love has always been immediate. You are stronger than you think, and softer than they know. That combination is divine. There is something beautiful being formed around your life right now. Though you can't see the full shape yet. It's like a sunrise hidden behind morning fog. You feel the light before you can define the colors. So, take a deep breath, deeper than usual. Let it carry you back into stillness. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Even now, Archangel Michael is beside you, not distant or abstract, but close enough to feel your breath. And I, the one who shaped you from stardust and spirit, am walking this path with you. Nothing is wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your wounds. They are being woven into something holy. You're not just surviving anymore. You're entering something sacred. The heavens often speak in symbols, and when the soul grows quiet enough, it begins to understand. Somewhere deep within you, you've known this was coming. Maybe not the message, but the moment. A moment when something invisible would rise up and whisper, "This is for you." And here it is. You've been sensing the shift, the discomfort in your spirit, the restlessness that won't explain itself, the way even silence has started to sound louder lately. That's not anxiety. That's preparation. That's your inner life stretching to make room for something divine. I know you've been tired of pretending, of performing, of pouring from a cup that rarely gets filled. I've seen you try to smile through the ache. I've watched as you gave your all to people who only noticed when you stopped. But I also saw the nights you chose love instead of bitterness, the mornings you got up even when hope felt like a stranger. That resilience didn't go unnoticed. Heaven remembers. Michael stood by your side through it all. When your head fell into your hands, when the tears refused to explain themselves, when you whispered just one more sign, he heard, and he answered. There's a cleansing wind moving through your life now, not to destroy, but to make space, the kind of space that miracles need, the kind of space that only trust can hold. Someone in your life has not been who they appeared to be, and you felt it in the way your spirit pulls back even as your heart leans in. But you don't have to uncover the truth alone. Heaven is already revealing. And when the veil lifts, you will not feel shame. you will feel release. Stay soft. Stay listening. The unraveling is sacred. There is a hush resting over you now, not silence, but sacred stillness. The kind that falls just before a divine revelation. You may feel like you're standing at the edge of something, unsure if it's a beginning or an ending. Let me tell you, it's both. The version of you that learned to survive is gently being laid to rest, and the version that knows how to live is about to rise. I know you've been carrying the weight of too many unfinished stories. Conversations that ended too soon. Relationships that faded without clarity. People who took more than they gave and left you wondering if it was your fault. It wasn't. Some were never meant to walk with you into the next chapter. They were bridges, not destinations. Lessons, not lifelong companions. And as painful as it is to let go, you must. Because I am bringing new voices into your life. Ones that speak peace, not confusion. Ones that see you, not just need you. Michael has been guarding your name in the spiritual realm. There have been whispers against your destiny, but none of them reached me. I only respond to what I placed inside you, and that light cannot be dimmed by human doubt. A spiritual repositioning is already happening around you. You may feel disoriented, like people are fading, doors are closing, patterns are breaking. Don't panic. This is not chaos, it's calibration. I am tuning your life into alignment. That ache in your chest is not heartbreak, it's growth. There is someone watching you from afar, quietly moved by your resilience. They've seen your light but felt unworthy of your energy. But I'm moving on their heart even now. They will speak soon. Until then, stay in the stillness. Stay open. What you've been asking for is closer than it seems. There is a story unfolding in the unseen, and every thread of it carries your name. You may not realize it, but you've been covered by grace that others didn't have words for. Grace that shielded you from breakdowns you didn't see coming. Grace that rerouted attacks before they reached your doorstep. Even now, it surrounds you like air, unseen but keeping you alive. I know your heart feels tired, not just physically but spiritually. You've been hoping in silence, believing with bruises. You've held on to promises you barely remembered how to say aloud. But heaven remembers every word. Michael heard the prayers you whispered into your pillow. He stood over you in the quiet, not to speak, but to war. To fight battles you were never meant to carry alone. Some of the heaviness you felt lately, that was spiritual warfare being disarmed on your behalf. And now I need you to trust me on a level deeper than understanding. The kind of trust that says yes before the plan is visible. Because what's coming will not look like what you expected. It will come wrapped in peace, not pressure, in clarity, not confusion. You've been shrinking to make others comfortable, apologizing for your presence, hiding your light. That season is over. I didn't place divine purpose inside you just to watch you dim it for people who refuse to see. Your voice matters, your story carries healing, and the people who tried to diminish you will soon realize they underestimated the favor you walk in. You're not rising in rebellion, you're rising in reverence. This is what elevation in silence looks like. Not loud, not performative, just holy. The winds are shifting. Let them carry away what was never meant to stay. Sometimes the shift is not loud. It's a breath, a blink, a stirring in your chest that tells you something sacred is beginning. You've been sensing things others can't explain, feeling emotions that don't seem to belong to you, catching glimpses of meaning in mundane moments. That's not confusion, it's activation. I've been awakening spiritual gifts inside you. Sensitivity is not weakness. Discernment is not paranoia. What you're feeling is the nearness of my presence. Fine-tuning your spirit to recognize truth in a world full of noise. You've outgrown environments that once felt safe. That's why they suddenly feel small. You're not wrong for needing more. More peace, more purpose, more honesty. And I'm not asking you to apologize for that anymore. There's someone returning to your life soon. Someone who once walked away or went quiet without warning. They'll say the right words. They'll look sincere. But Michael is already preparing your spirit to discern the truth beyond the surface. Watch how your body reacts when they speak. Listen to the tone between their words. Peace confirms. Tension warns. This isn't punishment. This is wisdom. The new connections I'm bringing into your path won't drain you. They won't require you to explain your worth or fight for attention. They will meet you with honor and reciprocity. That's how you'll know they're sent. There's also a financial restoration moving towards you now. It's not random. It's been orchestrated over time. Debts canceled, delays reversed, unexpected provision placed directly into your steps. But not as a reward, as a reminder. You were never meant to strive endlessly. My abundance is not earned by hustle, it's received through alignment. So lift your head, let your shoulders relax. You're entering a chapter where effort meets ease. There is a whisper forming in the atmosphere, soft but sure, like a voice you knew before you had words. It's calling you forward. You've been walking with questions about timing, about worth, about whether your name has been forgotten among the noise of the world. But I have never once stopped whispering your name into the light. Heaven has not overlooked you. You've been under divine protection, even when it felt like isolation. That loneliness, it wasn't rejection, it was preservation, because the elevation that's coming could not be built on shaky ground. I've been removing what was unstable, not to hurt you, but to make room for what's holy. You've cried over people I never sent. You've clung to patterns I was trying to break. But now the shift is undeniable. This time you'll feel it in your body before you see it with your eyes. A release, a stillness, a warmth like something in your chest finally softening after years of tension. Some things are falling away now. Conversations are ending, opportunities are fading. But don't chase what's being pulled. Let it go. When I remove, I always replace with better. And what's ahead will not come in chaos, it will come in calm. That's how you'll know it's me. There is someone whose prayers are covering you even now. They may be far from you in body or even gone from this world, but their spirit has been interceding, and those prayers have reached my throne. You've been protected from more than you know. Delays that saved you, rejections that rerouted you, doors that stayed closed not because you weren't enough, but because the timing wasn't yet divine. Now it is. So walk slowly, listen deeply, and prepare to be seen for who you truly are. There is a stirring beneath the surface, something ancient, something eternal. It's not new, but it's newly awakened inside of you. Your spirit has grown quieter lately, not from defeat, but from depth. You've stopped trying to explain your journey to those who were never meant to understand it. That's wisdom. That's growth. And that silence, it's holy. I've been clearing out the distractions, the noise, the false reflections that distorted your view of yourself. You're starting to see clearly now, not just the path, but your place on it. There is a sacred spotlight rising over your life, not to make you famous, but to make you fruitful. What I'm about to release through you will impact others in ways you cannot measure, and it won't come through striving. It will flow through stillness. You've been faithful in the shadows. Now I'm calling you into clarity. But listen, not everyone can walk with you where you're going. Some people were only part of your preparation, not your purpose. Don't try to take them with you just to feel familiar. This elevation requires release. Let me be the one who decides who stays. Let me choose who sees your next chapter. Michael has drawn a line around your peace. Those who bring confusion to your spirit will no longer have access. Those who dishonor your softness will no longer have your ear. And in their absence, you'll begin to hear me more clearly. Your dreams are not too big. Your timing is not off. What I placed in you was meant to bloom now, not later. You are not behind. You are in rhythm with my plan. So breathe, unclench, trust the unfolding. There is glory in the slowness. There is light bending toward you now, not the kind that blinds, but the kind that reveals. You are being shown to yourself through heaven's eyes. You've questioned why your journey felt so delayed, why others seemed to leap forward while you stood still. But what you called waiting, I called preparing. What felt like pause was actually precision. Every step was measured, every delay, divine. You weren't meant to arrive quickly. You were meant to arrive whole. There's been a shift in the realm around you. The spiritual climate is changing. Where there was resistance, now there is release. You're not imagining it. Your thoughts are clearer, your sleep lighter, your heart more open. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. Michael has been repositioning your name in places you haven't yet stepped into, rooms you didn't know were being prepared for you, and in those spaces, favor is already waiting. You'll begin to see signs, a number that keeps repeating, a phrase you overhear, a stranger saying something that echoes your secret prayer. Don't dismiss these moments. They are divine breadcrumbs. Follow them. The people who once doubted your worth are about to see what heaven always saw, not for your vindication, but for their awakening. Your consistency will speak louder than any argument. Your presence will carry a weight that can't be faked. You won't need to explain your glow. It will speak for itself. And someone unexpected, is being drawn toward your spirit. They don't come with chaos. They come with calm. Their soul will recognize yours. Let yourself receive it without fear. Not everyone who enters now is a lesson. Some are answers. So be still, be watchful, be open. What's coming next won't require force, only faith. There's a shift in the atmosphere. You can't quite name it, but your spirit knows. Something sacred is approaching. You've been carrying the weight of silent expectations, trying to be everything for everyone, smiling while your soul whispered, "When is it my turn?" The answer is now. This is your turn. Not because you earned it through perfection, but because you stayed when others walked away. Because you kept forgiving when it hurt. Because you kept loving when it was easier to harden. And heaven counted every quiet act of faith. Michael has gone ahead of you. He's made space where there was once resistance. And I've positioned people in your path who will pour into you without demand, who will speak life into your spirit without needing to understand your past. You're no longer being called to carry alone. There's a door opening, not just in the physical, but in the spiritual. One that leads to clarity, provision, and restoration. And when it opens, it will feel like stepping into a dream you didn't remember praying for. Even your body will respond. Your shoulders loosening, your breath deepening, your heart unclenching. That's not emotion. That's me. But I need you to discern carefully now. Not everything that returns is redemption. Some things come back to test your memory. Will you believe what I showed you, or let comfort rewrite the lesson? Trust your peace, not your pity. You're about to receive messages, invitations, ideas that feel too aligned to ignore. That's because they are. And the moment you say yes, heaven moves. So pause, breathe, feel the ground beneath you. You're not standing in uncertainty. You're standing in activation. The next step you take it with authority. There is a sacred echo in the room right now. Not a sound you hear, but a truth you feel. You were meant to receive this. You stayed. Through the wait, through the ache, through the uncertainty that told you to give up. You stayed. And that alone has opened something in the spiritual realm that no one else can close. The final veil is lifting now. The fog is clearing, and the version of you that once questioned their place is being replaced by the one who remembers who they've always been. You were never overlooked. You were hidden for protection. Now that covering is being removed, not to expose you to harm, but to reveal the glory you carry. Michael is still here, not in the background, right beside you. He has not left your side once. Even now, he's guarding your next move, preparing the hearts of those who will honor your light and silencing the mouths that once doubted you. Your dreams? They're waking up again. Not as fantasies, but as instructions. The vision is returning sharper, the pull stronger. That's not pressure, that's purpose. Your next chapter will not be marked by striving, it will be marked by flow, by alignment, by peace. You will speak and the room will shift, not from volume, but from presence. Because now you carry the authority of one who has walked through fire without losing softness. The kind of presence that only heaven can place on a soul. Let this truth settle in your bones. You are no longer waiting on permission to live fully. You've been released, commissioned, blessed. And as you rise quietly, confidently, heaven will rise with you. Breathe one last time, deeper. You're ready now. Go. The light is already making room for you.